Hello, and welcome to the Please Stand By podcast with me, Peter Bloopers, on Twitch, and my co-host today, the interviewee, if you would, um, Janelle Lopez. Well, here, let me unmute myself. Hello, Janelle. How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. You can introduce yourself a little bit. I said basically just like welcome and hello, and that was about it. So,
Okay, cool. I am Janelle, aka Miss Jello.
oh yeah, Miss Jello. I was gonna introduce you
Future
as that.
on future on Twitch, not yet.
Future.
But yeah, I am 23 years old. I currently am a worship leader, and I play video games, and it's a great time to be alive.
All right, now that you're done reviewing your Tinder profile, could we get a solid, look into what Janelle is doing currently in life? Like, what are you currently working towards? What's your goal right now?
So currently, I am working towards becoming a worship pastor.
Awesome.
Um,
Wow,
yeah. So yeah.
that's
It's
why I
we're
made the
making money
podcast.
moves.
True.
I currently am doing, I'm the youth director for worship and
Yeah.
the vocal director for worship on the weekends. So
Yep.
hopefully in the next couple years, I will be a worship pastor and it's going to be super fun and great.
That's really
I
awesome.
also want to build my own PC and start streaming on Twitch. That is a goal of mine. Hopefully in the next year, whenever we can get a graphics card.
And sell that darn futon. Just
And
oh
sell the
man.
darn futon.
If you guys don't know, um, Janelle refuses to make space to buy a desk, and the only reasoning is because she has a futon that she needs to sell in order to make room for the desk.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know. Are you like so obviously you're excited to start streaming.
Yeah.
You know, marveled and gawked at my stream for so long, and
hmm
I'm kidding. But I noticed that you obviously take a lot of interest in gaming. Do you know where that like stemmed from growing up?
Yeah, so my
'Cause I
brothers,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
I grew up with two brothers, and they were both really into gaming. I was I was never allowed to play because there was two of them, and
Oh
most of the
yeah, of
time there were
course.
two-player games, and I was just the little sister. I'm 5 years younger than them.
Mm,
So I would just sit and watch them, and I was obsessed with it. Like I
yeah.
loved watching them play video games. I was never good at it because I never, could practice with them. But I would always just like on my free time, whenever I just wasn't doing anything, I would always sit in front of the computer and just watch my brother play video games. So I've always had a love for it. But then as an adult, I was like, hey, I can actually do this myself.
Yeah.
Like I don't have
Crazy,
to
right?
play with my brothers.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I started, playing video games and I
Yeah.
love it. It's so fun and yeah.
Only that only happened like what recently, right? Like I don't really
Yeah.
remember you. I mean, I remember back in the day you always talked about like you mentioned how you used to play some League of Legends back in the day, but like now you're kind of branching out trying to play new games, which I think is super
Yeah.
awesome. I'm like the complete opposite of your situation, which I think is it's so funny like looking at that
Yeah.
now that you say that cuz
Mhm.
I'm the middle child of three sisters, right? So
Mhm.
when it comes down to it, I didn't really have anything to relate to them with. Like, I mean, sure, they did my nails and like we all had
Yeah.
fun. And
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, like my dad was really into gaming. So,
Mhm.
growing up, he had an Xbox like one, not an Xbox One, not to be confused with the actual Xbox One. He had the first
Yeah.
original Xbox in his bedroom,
Mhm.
and he also had an N64. Homeboy was good to go. I think my dad was a secret nerd and he didn't tell anyone, right? Because we were talking, and he knows some stuff about Star Wars, and I didn't know that. Like we were talking about. This was back in the day, like when the Last Jedi came out. And he was like, "Yo, do you say
Uh-huh.
Yoda came in?" And he like stopped himself. He was like, "Do you say Yo?" And I was like, "Dad, it's okay. It's okay.
You're
You
fine.
ra-
This is
you
a safe
raised
place.
you raised me. You know who I
Yeah.
am. I have a
Yeah.
single Spider-Man poster in my bedroom. My bedroom, just hiding right in the back. See, and a Captain America shield to go with it. Like,
Yep.
come on, man.
Well,
You know you're too
SuperCon's right
good.
around the corner.
So excited. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was all. That was like just growing up. I had a lot of time to play video games. Considering I didn't really do sports all that often. I mean, I played baseball for a little bit, and I did tried football. Absolutely hated football. I have like a distinct, vivid memory of
Yeah.
of I had football practice that night. I was in my football gear. I was literally playing video games, and my dad was like, "Yo, Pete, do you want to go? We got to go to practice." And I was like, "Dude, I'm not feeling this." I was like, "I really don't want to do
I
this right
really
now.
don't want to do that.
I'd rather play
Yeah.
video games." And he was
Mhm.
like, if
Okay.
that's what makes you happy, yeah. And he walked away.
Yeah.
So he was pretty supportive about it. So they've always been like a huge part of my life. Like I just this stemmed from when I was born. Like I had a Game Boy, N64, Xbox, original Xbox. Um, we used to play together. He'd absolutely destroy me in like NBA Jam and like Crash
Yeah.
Bandicoot Racing. I remember that. And yo, tough. How are you when it comes to losing in a game?
I'm definitely not you.
Oh, that is okay. So, okay, no,
No,
no, no,
so
no, 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 no. You're okay. Ugh, you say you're not competitive. I know you're competitive though. Like deep down inside, you want to win. I know you do.
so I think it's fun to win, but I don't take a loss as like as harshly as other
Devastation.
people
I'm
do.
devastated
Yeah.
after
Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, okay, we lost." Now, I will say when I am playing ranked, like
Mm,
losing makes me so upset because I'm just hard
we
stuck in
know, we
iron.
know. Oh my
So,
gosh. No thanks to me.
it's
I
just
think. Anyways, so no, continue.
no, but I like I'm not really super competitive, but I definitely enjoy playing the game, you know what I mean?
Of
Like
course.
it's not like I'm like, "Oh, I got shot in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, well." Like I get upset, like of course, you know.
Oh, yo, top 10 things that bother me. Peter, let's play comp. I don't care if we lose. No, no, no. That's a bad mindset, man. I don't know. There's a ninja tweet where it's like, if you don't get mad
Yeah.
that you're losing, you're not a gamer or something like that. There's a tweet from Ninja that he says
Uh,
something like that.
yeah.
But like, man,
I don't
is
know.
he
I
wrong? I
just
don't know. Listen, look, because I know like you're good at video games, and I think that like that stems, you know, the attitude that you have towards it. Like when you lose, you're like, oh, I really wanted to win, but I'm not mad that I lost.
yeah.
Um, it's just a reflection of like your competitive nature or lack thereof. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a completely fine nature to have. Like,
Yeah,
don't get me
yeah.
wrong. You should have seen me. I was so like back in the day, so mad.
Yeah.
Remember my dad beat me in like NBA Jam or something like that, like Crash Bandicoot Racing. Those I don't know why those stick out to me. I'd get so upset. I'd get
Yeah.
actively mad that this 35-year-old man was actually destroying me in a video game.
Mhm.
Like Homeboy had the sticks. Like he was good. He
Yeah.
First of all, yo, in Mortal Kombat 2 he beat me, and I probably shouldn't have been playing Mortal
Mortal
Kombat when I was
Kombat.
that age, but my kid's gonna play Mortal Kombat when he's like,
Yeah, it's a classic.
it's a classic. Kind of have
You
to
gotta play Mortal Kombat,
if
yeah.
it's but yeah, I just remember this, and it just completely made me into the person I am today. Like losing, just
Yeah.
oof, I can't even put it into words. Like I don't know. Like it's not that like it's such an ego thing with me.
Yeah.
I don't
Mhm.
know. Like it really is. I don't. It's not that I like to. It's not that I'm like I need to win because sometimes I could take a L, right? Like it depends
Yeah.
on the day. Like I'm like okay, well they're better than me. But then
Mhm.
other times I'm like, they're better than me. Are you kidding?
Mhm.
I can't handle this.
Yeah, I hate losing against people that I know
That you know you're
I'm
better
better
than,
than.
right? But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like my criteria for that judgment is like a little off right now. Like
Yeah.
especially because I took a little break from Valorant. I feel like getting back into it. But like yo, I knew I was better than some of those people, and like just the fear, the not the fear that like because I think I'm better than a platinum, right? Because like I sit
Yeah.
at platinum and I'm like, okay, well, I'm my home is diamond. I need to get to diamond, and then I lose a platinum game, and I'm like, oh, okay, my bar is
Yeah.
up here, but I think I'm actually performing here, so I'm
Mhm.
performing under my bar of performance, right? So that always Oh, and for audio people, the bar is high. I am low. But yeah, you gotta make sure.
Yeah.
Um, that's just how I am though. Like the
Mhm.
competitive side of me always will
Yeah.
jump out
I
at the
just at
worst
the end of the
moments.
day, like I think my mindset's more just like this is for fun, and if I'm not
Yeah.
gonna have fun doing it, like what's the point, you
Oh,
know?
it's such a good mindset to have. And I don't know why, but my mind just defaults to like winning equals fun. And so I
Mhm.
think because I mean, I'm not wrong. Winning is fun. Like winning
Yeah,
is
of
an
course.
awesome
It's a
time.
good feeling, yeah.
I feel like my brain has also now coined that not winning equals not fun.
Mhm.
So when I lose, I get like, oh, I'm like, oh, this is brutal.
Yeah.
Which is like why I'm switching like I've been playing a lot more like roguelikes where it's like endless runs where you just keep going, keep going, keep going. And like if you lose, you're kind of made to lose, right? And if you win, you're not supposed to win every run. And it's
Yeah.
like that's really helped me recently, like when it comes to like actually managing my ego and realizing that, maybe I'm not that amazing because I put so much time into it. You know what I'm saying? I've been playing video games since I was like an infant, like out the womb
Yeah.
at a Game Boy. So it's like just, growing up with something that I know that I have like experience in and then, falling straight on my face to it, like really just like, ugh,
Yeah.
kind of messes with me. I don't know why. But it's also an ego thing. I think I need people obviously to hold me accountable for that. You do
Yeah.
that. You
I know
definitely
I do.
you
I
check
make
me.
sure that I
You
do.
check me. Like
Yeah.
it's good. I appreciate that because I need it. Like I don't okay. This slander that I attack people is ridiculous. I'm about to make a YouTube apology video. But like okay. So explain what the basis of this me slandering people is.
Okay, so
This slander of me actually is I should say.
okay, all of our friends that we play Valorant with are currently sitting at an iron position, or we have one friend that is a bronze, right? But Peter is our Smurf, you know? He's gonna carry us to better and higher things, you know?
Oh.
But every time that we play Valorant with our iron friends, Peter just starts yelling at them because they're doing something wrong. We don't know how to play video games correctly. This is my first ever tactical shooter in
Period.
general.
Period.
Period. This is my first ever video game that I like. It's shooting people.
Yeah. Oh my
And
gosh, it is your first shooter period too.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So every time I make a wrong play, or like one of our friends makes a wrong play, he just starts yelling, and we're like, Peter, calm
Yelling?
down. They
Yelling?
need let them play. Just let them play. Don't backseat game. And it's just every time. So some of our friends are scared to play with Peter now.
Okay, there's a distinct different like okay, wait, back it up, Peter. Okay. So like backseat gaming and being an in-game leader is kind of like where I need to start to draw that line cuz
Yeah,
like I'll start pretty like non-hostile. I'd be like,
yeah,
ooh, oh man, good try, I guess.
yeah,
I
yeah.
like oh, I need to stop saying I guess cuz that seems very like hostile. I need to check my words sometimes cuz
Mhm.
I add some comments that probably
Yeah.
make me seem like rude. But I'm like, okay, good try. And I'm like, why did you do that? And then
Mhm.
we start like losing actively, and I'm like, what are you doing? And then when I get to the what are
That's
you
that's
doing?
the phrasing. What are you doing? What are you
What are you
doing?
doing? What are you
Mhm.
doing? I say that so often, and it's like, it's not that I want to be mean, but I'm like, what are you doing? Like, this is
Yeah.
not like being. So I've been told by a lot of people that like I give off the vibes of like an like an IGL, like an in-game leader, like a natural like leader when it comes to like making people want to do things, right? So it's tough when it's a team-based game and my insecurity like cuz look, the fact that I'm already spectating the person means that I already died in the game, right? Like I've already lost in my mind. Like
Mhm.
because there's like there's kind of a burden on me, like to be like I have to win this for the team, right? Like I
Yeah.
feels like I'm constantly
Especially since
playing.
you're a Smurf, so
That's what I'm saying, right? So like you guys
yeah.
kind of rely on me to like get to your next rank. So
Hmm.
I'm like, whenever I die, I'm like, oh man, okay, how can I make sure that I can kind of like damage control to see if we could actually end up winning this? Not saying that you guys need it, but that's where like where my mind defaults to because I have this like pressure of like being like deemed as like an amazing like gamer, like you know what I mean, like the best of the best gamers, like, and I get to this position where like it's my own insecurities popping out, right? Because I want to like redeem myself for the round, so I start telling other people what to do, which is probably not the best situation because if you don't let the person play the game, how are they gonna learn? But like,
Exactly. Yeah.
but then there's side of me, it's like, oh, dude, I mean, there's a potential like lead that you can take here, and you could, suggest it, right? Like you could
Yeah.
like because something that I don't like doing is like a for future reference type deal. Like I'm like just let them know because I feel like that's so passive aggressive. Like when someone makes like a bad play, oh man, not even that as bad. When someone makes a play and it doesn't go well, and they're like, oh man, and I just feel like such like a like so rude, just being like. Just in the future, just try this. Because I feel like that's so much more passive aggressive than in that moment
That's
be like, okay,
funny
try this real quick.
because I'm the actual, like, I'm the opposite. Like, I will let them make their mistake. If, let's say, like, I can see where their play is going, I'll try and stop it. Like, hey,
Yeah,
maybe turn around, go heaven. Like, change the way you're trying to do the play. But if it doesn't work out, I'm like, hey, next time, if you're in the same predicament, try this.
yeah. Well,
That's always how I solve it. Like,
oh man, just people that like. Oh, another thing that's like that's how it is. I feel like they've started to tone me out, kind of, right? So like when I'm like, okay, check behind you, like they don't check behind them, then they get shot in the back, and it's like,
hmm
and it's those situations where I'm like, I told you so, but also you
yeah,
needed to learn. But like I also told you so. So I mean,
yeah,
why did that happen? Like,
hmm
what are you doing? I think that's
yeah,
where that comes from, right? So yeah, that competitive mindset really gets me.
yeah.
It's tough. It really is. And it's something, I mean, I'm actively trying to get better at it. And like you're a great influence when it comes to like assisting me in like not doing that.
Yeah,
I feel like you assist Nick and I, both of us honestly, cuz we could both
yeah.
get pretty heated pretty quick.
hmm
Um oh man, I don't know why we're like that. Natural born gamers, I guess. Not only
I
are
guess
we,
so.
natural born
I
gamers.
think because I was talking to Nick about this, and I was like, "Hey, you were rude to me in the game,
Yeah.
whatever." But because he was just like, "I know that you're better than what you're doing,"
Oof, that's okay.
so he didn't mean it in a mean. Like he's like, "I
Yeah.
know that you know better," So he's like, he's upset that I'm like, So especially
Yeah.
since we're playing with people that like we have to carry in a sense. I mean, not me, I'm still an iron, but
Yeah.
you have that pressure of like like how you said, like carrying them to the next rank type thing. Um, so it's just like when you're making these plays that and you've clutched before or stuff like that, like
Yeah.
and you just start freaking out and getting in your head, like that's
Yeah.
the point where you guys are like, but don't do that. And I'm like, you can't say that to me because I'll freak
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I need to have complete silence. I need to process in my brain. Like don't talk to me.
Yeah. Please just give me the
Yeah.
round, right?
Yeah.
I'm like that sometimes. I'm like, let her play, let them play, try to do it. And I mean, only when like, and I think I've been getting like actively a little bit better. I don't, I mean, that's up for you to decide because I'm not going to critique myself like that. Like, have you noticed any improvements at all? Like, I don't remember the last time I was super toxic or anything like that. But like,
Yeah, I think the last time we played you were okay. You were fine.
there you
I
go.
don't remember we haven't really played with like Esther, Hannah, Josiah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, because
that's
I
all
don't
right.
want to. But
It's
when
not
we
that.
play, you're fine.
That's fair. It
Yeah.
goes to show. Maybe I believe in your gameplay ability.
Thank
Um,
you.
of course. Yeah. Um, but I don't know. I don't think have I ever said like you're better than that. I don't know.
Um,
I probably have.
I think so.
I
I
think I have
think yeah.
said that.
Yeah. Which I don't find like offensive. Like
No, no,
I
I don't
there's
think it's
times that I'm
offensive.
like that was a stupid play. Like
Well,
I am, you know.
it's definitely how you say it. Like, and it's
Yeah.
definitely the context of it because you could
Yeah,
definitely
like
use
you're
that as
better
like
than
a
that. You know,
like
like that's not how you guys mean
yeah.
it. Yeah.
No, no, no. Like, come on. You're like, I know how you like play the game.
Yeah.
You're
Like you
better
guys
than
play
that.
with me often enough that you know my play
Yeah,
style, you know where my
yeah,
mind is going. Like, yeah.
for sure. Um, just to pivot off of that really quick. Do you see yourself streaming those competitive shooters when you do start your stream?
I would love to.
Yeah,
The only thing that I'm hesitant about is that I feel like I wouldn't be able to engage like the audience
oh,
enough when I'm
it's
playing
hard.
those because I'm
Yeah.
so concentrated on what I'm doing. I'd rather play like a Portals 2 or like a Minecraft, you know, where I
How
can
close you
play
get
the
to your
games.
how close you get to your monitor when you're playing? Like, are you just like
Um, I don't get close, but I like start slouching and I'm like this.
you do the hard focus?
Like
Uh,
I've caught myself and I'm just like, Janelle, what are you doing?
that's like the Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah,
You do
I start
Hannibal
like I don't know why.
going to be
Especially in like a clutch in a clutch moment, I'm like
yo.
my heart is pounding. I'm like
You see like a it's like a 4v1. You're like
and
I'm going in.
then die instantly.
What are you doing? Uh, you're better than that. Oh man, but are you scared of getting critiqued?
No, not at all. Because the thing
Well,
is, I
are you
know
sure you're not scared at all of getting
I'm
like
not scared of it.
not scared? You know
No.
what I mean? But like, is that not like a oh, I guess a fear would be you getting scared. So like, is that something that you'd be? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, Janelle. There's probably a lot worse people in the world than me when it comes to
Oh
backseat
yeah,
gaming.
I know that for
Um,
sure. That's why I don't play
so
with them.
very true, very true. But yeah, but when you stream, it's a whole different like experience, right? Like you're no
Yeah.
longer just playing the game. Now you're at least that's how I do it. You're kind of pertaining to an audience, and you're kind of you're putting on a performance, genuine, like
Mhm.
essentially, whether that be like you yourself, and that's like a genuine like you like a reflection of who you are as a person, or you put on a character. You find like people on Twitch put on characters a lot. Um,
Mhm.
so when you do something like that and you put yourself and it's a very vulnerable thing to do to stream, like
Mhm.
genuinely it's a very sensitive and like you need to be confident and you need to have that security because when you have people in their chat critiquing you and it's just like bashing you and like you do have haters. Like I've ran into people in my chat, like you can't be afraid to ban them. Like I
For
know that
sure. Yeah.
a lot of people, at least that I know, like you ever been in a situation where someone's like complaining to you or like um ranting to you about this like a specific somebody, like they're really upset with them, like they really hurt them, and you're just like block them? Why
Mhm.
don't you block them?
Yeah.
um and then they're like, but I don't want to block them, right? Like you've ever been in that situation?
Yes, I have been the one that's like, why didn't you block
Oh
them?
yeah, of course, of course, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't be afraid of that. You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
I have some people blocked on my stream, but
No,
normally
for
people
sure.
are
So
my
like
community is
I'm a
pretty
mod for my
positive.
brother's stream and I've had
Yeah,
to block several people because they're just
yeah,
so
man.
aggressive. Like that is so my thing is that I don't want to stream because I'm good because I'm not. You know, I just want to
Who
stream
you
to
hold?
like have that community and like
Yeah, of
just have
course.
a positive vibe. So
Well, I know. Yeah,
I'm not opposed to banning people. I don't care. If you're
it
not gonna
doesn't
be a
matter.
positive part of my chat, then get out of my chat, you know?
Yeah, you could be the only viewer in my stream, and if you're not like spreading like positivity, and if you're only
Hmm.
like you're critiquing, hating, being like just shouting just like negative rhetoric, you're banned.
Yeah.
Like it's as simple
Yeah,
as that. I
yeah,
would rather have 0 people watching my stream than one
yeah.
toxic person watching my
Yeah,
stream.
exactly. Yeah, I want to be able to like have people come into my stream and like feel loved, feel happy, you know, a fun
Yeah.
vibe. If you're stopping that from happening, goodbye. You are not in my
All
stream,
right.
you know.
All right,
Yeah.
Janelle, the 10-minute ad segment for your stream is now over. We're gonna start pivoting side conversation. No, I'm seriously though. No, no, back to that though.
Yeah.
It's super important because like uh, streaming like a video game competitively, especially in a competitive match.
Yeah.
I mean, not that you're asking, you don't ask for it. Like you don't ask for backseat
No.
gaming, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Like, but it's gonna happen naturally.
Hmm.
Um, like where do you think you stand when it comes to like mentally handling a person actively critiquing you playing a video game, like literally just like staring at, you know, you playing a video game? Like how would you be able to handle that critique? Like mentally. I want to just diving into your brain a little bit.
Yeah. Um, it depends if it's constructive or not. You know what I mean? Like if they're just purposely hating on me, I'm just gonna look past it. Like, okay, forget it,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm not the type of person that like that kind of stuff would bring me down
Yeah.
or you know, like it's not gonna affect me
Yeah.
because someone that's randomly watching my stream thinks
Yeah.
I play bad. Like I don't
Like
really
who?
care, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I don't even know you. You don't know anything about me. You're just
You don't
watching my
even go
playstyle.
here.
But
Yeah.
if they're just like, oh, maybe try this, or you know, maybe don't aim down sights, like how you were always telling me, like
For
I'll
sure.
take that and I'll process it and I'll put it into my playstyle, you know,
Yeah.
if it's constructive. If it's
If
just
it's
hate,
constructive.
then we're just gonna block it out and
Yeah.
not even acknowledge it. Because
Um
once you start acknowledging people,
yeah.
it feeds into it, and you're just gonna allow that door to be open, and that's not something that I need.
Yeah, feeding into that ego could be kind of tough. Like
Yeah.
that's where I think I need to like check myself when it comes to it, because I feel like I've let
Mhm.
myself into some of you guys' like, you know, gameplay styles, like when it comes to like how you play, and
Mhm.
that's kind of led to you guys being first vulnerable to me being able to critique you, and then me actively, you know, accident not on necessarily on purpose, but taking advantage of that and like using that to, you know, to micromanage like gameplay, right? So like that's my least favorite thing. Like the I don't like doing it, and it's like it's accidental, right? So like I don't mean to do it, but it's just something that kind of just happens.
Mhm.
So I mean, I to be honest with you, I try to I mean I really have gotten that Hiko mindset with me now. Like I'm like, okay, go next. All right, GG, good
Yeah.
round. All right, good next. Good next. Good try.
Go
NT,
next.
good next.
GG, go next.
GG, go next.
FF,
Bye.
FF.
FF, please. No, that's
FF.
toxic.
Okay.
That is toxic. You taught me that.
That is,
No, actually,
it's
that's something you picked up
so
from me.
fun.
It's so
It is
bad.
so fun though.
It's so
Like
bad.
GG Easy. Oh my
No.
gosh.
Oh, ew. Get out of my. You're no longer invited to the
It's
podcast.
so fun.
It's so bad. Oh,
Oh man.
GG. Oh man. GG easy is. Do you know if you put that into an Overwatch chat, it replaces the message with like,
Like I'm
I'm very
lonely.
sad. I am very, very sad. It's like a plethora of
It's
different
so
messages,
good.
but still.
Yeah.
Um, that's
Did you
awesome.
hear Valorant's gonna start monitoring voice chats?
As they should. Do you think that's an
Hmm.
invasion of privacy at all?
No, because I don't think anyone's like giving secrets away. I think they should monitor it, you
Yeah,
know?
you think there's any
I think
whistleblowers and like
I
the low
yeah, like
gold
I don't
tier cap?
like we're playing Valorant, but here is my entire life story. Like
Oh
I don't
yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
it'll be okay. And it's not gonna be anyone that's like monitoring it 24/7, but like if someone reports it, they can
Yeah.
look
Oh
back.
yeah, they can look back at it. I feel like that's super
Hmm.
important to have.
Yeah.
Just stop the hate. Um, what's it called? Yeah, no, just imagine like you're in a gold 2 match. Someone's like, I have information that could lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton. And then they like it goes black, game stops, red screen, cheater. And then you're banned for life. FBI, open
Oh
up.
my
Like
goodness.
there you're done. Um,
Oh man.
but just hating. Well, I mean, how do you handle that? Like pivoting off of that. Like
What?
you obviously that's important, right? Like the monitoring of voice chats in games, right?
Yeah.
Um, I know like you like sometimes you don't like speaking into the mic. You've gotten like better at it. I know you're more open with it now. Um,
Yeah.
but originally, you know, uh, experiencing some experiences, I guess, you know, with experiencing some experiences, having some experiences with being, you know, a girl playing a video game, right? That led you to not using your mic. So, do you want to explain some of the situations
Yeah.
if you feel comfortable?
Yeah, yeah. So I always heard like oh, being a girl in gaming is so hard, whatever. And I was like, "Pfft, whatever. I sure it is."
Yeah,
And then I got into gaming, and it's so toxic.
it's so
For
bad.
I just don't understand what it is. Even people on the other team, I had to hide my name in Valorant because people would see the word miss in front
Yeah,
of it
yeah.
and just say the most horrible things because I
I
killed them in a
yeah,
tactical shooter. And I was like, cool, 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 cool.
yeah.
And it wasn't even like the basic, like, like get back to the kitchen. Like it was degrading, like
I've I've
nasty.
been like
Yeah,
like we've been playing together and I see these things happening like a
yeah.
couple of situations like different. It's not like this happened
hmm
once, right? It's
Yeah,
a
it's multiple
it's a
times.
problem.
Yeah,
It's a
multiple
consistent problem.
occasions. Yeah. So whenever if I'm playing solo queue, I do not talk into my mic until I know that everyone's kind of a decent human being.
Yeah,
Or like there's another girl in the chat or stuff like that. Like I will not speak.
yeah,
And if we lose the comp game, we lose the comp game, you know?
yeah,
If I'm playing with like three people or like you and Nick or like just,
yeah.
just multiple people, I'll feel a little bit better to talk because I know
Of
you guys
course.
would defend me.
Yeah.
Um, and the chances of there being a horrible human being on the other line
Is now deduced.
it's a little
Is
less,
now
yeah.
deducted.
Yeah, so but it's been an adjustment.
Hmm.
Um but I've also learned like if as soon as someone makes a comment like you're muted, I'm not gonna talk like kind of just like okay, forget that. Like I'm not gonna let it get to me again
Yeah.
because it did get to me at first, like I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like okay, we're not gonna do this anymore.
Yeah.
Um but kind of like now if someone makes a comment like that, like they're immediately muted or like I'll mute the other team, just stuff like that I'll just get that out of my
Yeah.
head. Like, okay, you're a trash person, but that's not my fault and that's not my problem. Um, that you're sad with your life.
Oh yeah,
So
it bursts their
yeah.
insecurities out whenever they get outplayed by someone that they believe is inferior to them. When in reality,
Yeah.
like,
It's
buddy,
like, oh, I'm losing to a girl. Oh my
yeah, I'm
goodness.
losing to
Like,
a girl. Well, that's the stigma, right? Isn't that like,
yeah.
we grew up like, don't be a girl. You throw a ball like a girl. That's a pretty
Yeah.
iconic line. Um,
Yeah.
I think it's you play ball like a girl, Sandlot.
You throw like a girl, but
You play ball like a girl. You ever seen that?
no.
You've never seen the Sandlot? Oh,
I've seen it like when I was younger. I don't remember.
great movie. Anyways,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's an issue, right? Like growing up,
Yeah.
especially just the whole capability of like gaming in general has been such a male dominated focused group for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
Um this led to the sexualization of video game characters. This led
Mhm.
to the discrimination of women in gaming. This leads to discrimination of female Twitch streamers in gaming, right? Like it's tough, right? Because coming from like growing up, I was always taught like, three sisters, right? I had that experience like of around like women in my entire life.
Mhm.
So just I understood that like growing up I genuinely didn't think that like, girls were able to play video games. I genuinely thought that they were born with like no thumbs, bad at gaming, you know, you're
Yeah.
trash, right? Like you're
Yeah.
garbage. What a trash can. Yeah, you guys,
Yeah.
Riley, you can't play video games. Come on, man. Don't be ridiculous. You're a girl. Just it's
Yeah.
such an awful mindset, but like it's such a
Yeah.
legitimate one because it was such like an unaccepted thing for
Yeah.
women to experience gaming, which is like even like it's still not widely. I mean, obviously it's accepted, right? But
Mhm.
like there's still a large margin of individuals that don't believe that women should play video games, which
Yeah.
is so weird to me. Just it's so like old timey. Like it's you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like like they have this such like old timey mindset. Like oh, and it's pretty incel logic, right? Like it's pretty like
Mhm.
you're a girl, so you obviously you weren't
Don't know how to play the game or
developed enough
yeah.
to play video games.
Yeah.
Like buddy, that's not how that works, right? Like,
Mhm.
and I mean it's not like it's a problem that's fixed, right? I have like some statistics here. This is for Twitch streamers. Um, just breaking it down just to see the male to female like demographic. So 77% of Twitch streamers, you guessed it, are male. Um, wild. 10.6% of gamers on Twitch are female. I don't know if this is necessarily gaming, but streamers in general, 10.6% are female, and 12.4% are other. So I mean, people that either don't disclose it or people that are, of the LGBTQ plus. Not saying if you're, not if you're a lesbian, you can still be a girl, but like, what I'm saying.
That don't identify as, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That wouldn't identify as a male or female. So,
Mhm.
dude, you guys like women are even outbeat like by people that don't identify as female. Like that's crazy to me. That blows my mind because that's an even newer concept, right? That's
Yeah.
like that wasn't like, oh my god, that wasn't even socially acceptable 5 years ago, and now they make up more of a population of a Twitch than like you have females, right? So it's like
Yeah.
it's weird when you look at it. Do you think that you'd be at a disadvantage being a woman gaming? Being a woman streaming, I should say.
Um,
Because you can stream whatever you want. Welcome to Twitch, the
I
podcast.
think so, just because, like you said, there's less females. I do think that people will be inclined to come into the chat and say things.
Yeah.
And I would have to ban them.
Yeah. I feel like your
they
ban
just
list is gonna be much larger than mine.
yeah. Because it's just like they're inclined, like they're not used to this, and a lot of females I feel like are scared to start streaming or playing video games because of that stigma of girls can't play, or the guys are gonna be super toxic. Just don't do it, you know. So I do think streaming might be a little bit more difficult, but there's also a great community out there that is super welcoming and open. So, it has its ups and downs. I don't
it's a
know if
give
it'd
and
be a
take.
huge disadvantage, but it definitely would be something on like a cons list,
For sure. I agree. I mean, it's definitely not black or white. Just the whole experience with it would be. I just feel like you're not at a disadvantage. I mean, I don't think you're at an advantage. I feel like you are actually at a slight disadvantage. I feel like your advantages are different than a male streamer's advantages, right? Because obviously a male streamer can pertain more to men, but a female streamer pertains more to, obviously women that are into gaming, afraid to stream, so and want people, that look like them, that have their same problems, like that have their same like, emotions, stuff like that. Because the emotions of a man and a woman are different emotions, even though both can be emotional. But that experience is important, like that representation, just like how it would be. You'd have a wide, because being a straight white male in gaming is so rare. It's tough, right? So like, I mean, seeing like a woman could pertain to women, right? Just like how seeing a male streaming can pertain to males. And then you have those people that are absolutely just like lonely individuals that don't even like process what it's even like to have a woman just even in their vicinity that will come into your stream. And now they experience you, which I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Actually, well, I'm not gonna be simpy. Because look, I'm not gonna lie, Janelle, you're not an ugly individual. So like, it'll be tough for an individual to go into your stream, especially if there's someone like, like that genuinely don't have an understanding of women, right? Like, I feel like I'm at such an advantage when it comes to that, because just growing up with three girls really opened my eyes to like, if I was an only child, I wouldn't even know how to even like react to it. Even growing up with, like, one sister, I think that's not even enough. I feel like I'd still just be kind of an ass sometimes to women, even if I grew up with one sister. Like, growing up with three, having one older and younger taught me how to not only, get defended, but also defend. So that helps me like with my whole understanding. And I think that just coming from like an outsider's perspective, seeing an individual go into someone's stream, like looking at like Pokimane stream, she's like
Oh my goodness.
yo, have you seen like some of the people in her chat? Like,
Yeah.
what do you like? What do they do? Like, why are
Yeah.
it's 3 p.m. on a Wednesday and you're a tier
Yeah.
3 sub? Why do you pay this woman $15 a month? How do you get this money? Where are you going?
Yeah.
Who,
Yep.
is this your allowance? Is this your allowance and you're spending it on Pokimane? So
Yep.
I'm not saying that's an advantage. I don't think it's an
Yeah.
advantage. I think that the exposure that women streamers can potentially get is higher because there's a much higher saturation of, I mean, people that identify, as like, a white male, right? So that's
Hmm.
like that. Obviously, we're definitely more saturated on the website than, I saw this tweet. It was like, CDC recommends no more straight white men creating podcasts. And I was like, yeah,
Here you are.
now that I'm looking at it. So that was the night that we started the podcast.
Yep.
So go figure. And then, so it's obviously no secret
Hmm.
that, women Twitch streaming isn't necessarily a saturated market.
Yeah.
Um, do you think that forming those relationships could have its downsides? Like what are the downsides you think you can have by growing in a relationship with your chat, like with people in your chat? Like, do you think there are any downsides to that?
Um, I don't think so. What do you mean, like being friends with them?
Not necessarily. Well, it's like a it's like a parasocial relationship, right? Because
Hmm.
let's say you do make it big. Let's say you're a big Twitch streamer, like 500 viewers, something like every stream.
I'm
You have
like,
these people, some like you have every
yeah,
all these people in your chat just going. You read every couple because you're active, right?
yeah.
You read this one person's chat, like let's say like they're like madly like in love with you, right? They see you for like, let's say if you do this for a profession, they see you for 8 hours a day, and
Hmm.
they spend most of their day with you, and they see this and they grow with you and they bond with you, and you don't even know who they are. So
Hmm.
that's the definition of a parasocial
Yeah.
relationship, being connected to an individual that doesn't know you. Do you think that that's troublesome? That could lead to troublesome like events in being a streamer?
Yeah, I do think that people feel entitled
Mm-hmm.
to your life because you put so much of it on stream and they feel like they know you and that
Yeah.
you should be able to disclose anything to them,
Yeah.
which is, not the case, of course. Um, so it's definitely it's again, it has its ups and downs. Because you have so many people that are supportive of who you are and if you're going through something and you want to share it, like they're going to be able to be like, "Oh, we love you, we support you" type thing, but at the same time it's like, "But what aren't you telling us? Like we need
Yeah.
to know every detail." And it's like, "Ugh, I
Yeah.
don't want to share every detail, So there is some dangers to it. Especially when people could be like crazed fans, whatever. It's like, ugh,
Yeah,
you
well,
know.
like obviously, that's why boundaries are super important, right? Especially
Exactly, yeah.
like I mean, you can set those up all day. I mean, people are
Hmm.
obviously going to try to reach and get over them.
Yeah.
Like just I mean, it's tough. It really is tough because I have these
Hmm.
people. I mean, growing like because I've streamed for a while, right? Like I
Yeah.
streamed, like pre-pubescent Peter was out here streaming,
Mhm.
right? So like I experienced that, and I see that like I've been able to grow with some individuals like online, and like I see
Hmm.
some of these people growing, and I become friends, I become close with some of these people, and then they open up to me, right? And they
Yeah.
discuss their problems because they look at me and they automatically assume that I can help them, right?
Yeah.
I think they look at me as like a higher individual, like a role model, it's kind of.
Hmm.
And that's not tooting my own horn. That's just like how I just like look at it, right? Because I mean, I would only go like some of these things that like individuals have talked to me about that I would like only I would go to a like a person that I view as like a leader in my life. I would speak to them, and
Hmm.
I would speak to them about these issues, and I'd ask for help, right? And I experienced that. Um, so that viewer to streamer like relationship is so skewed because
Yeah.
I've had people speak to me and like about their life and like, man, I mean, I'd be lying if I said that I didn't know who they were, right? Like I had no idea about how their like home
Yeah.
life was. I just like we banter and we play freaking Valorant. Like I don't and it's not that
Yeah.
it's not that I don't want to help. It's that like I don't feel
Mhm.
like I
You
am
have the
in that
authority in their
capacity
life.
to help
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
But they
Mhm.
give me this. They give me that authority. They give me that
Yeah.
option to help them.
Mhm.
And I just don't believe I deserve it, right? So I feel
Yeah.
like that's where ego can get in the way. Essentially, I feel like every streamer has a little bit of ego in them. Just not necessarily, vainful, hostile ego, but like every
Mhm.
streamer tries their best to be their best, and like
Yeah, of
that
course.
that can lead to them viewing themselves as better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I definitely think it's important
yeah,
to just remain humble in that. Even if you have 5 viewers or 500,
yeah,
like kind of just stick to the basics of like, okay, I wanted to like at least for me, the only reason I want to stream is to be able to bring joy to people and make them
right,
smile. Is especially like nowadays in this world, it's just so like dark,
right.
like I feel like there's not enough hope in the world and I just want to at least be a 10-minute or 10-hour, piece of joy in them. So,
You're gonna stream for 10 minutes. It's like starting the stream. Be like,
well, I'm saying like
welcome guys
if
to
they
the
log
channel.
in,
All right,
if
later.
they tune in for 10 minutes or if they tune in for
Yeah, no,
10
for sure.
hours,
No, I completely
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. That really is. I think that and that can get obviously like you bring someone joy. You're a connection now. Like that's a
Yeah.
connection, and it could be a
Mhm.
one-way connection. And like
Yeah.
you can. I mean, your chat could bring you joy all day. Like you can be very close with your chat, happy with them, discussing with them all the time, right? Just but at the end of the day, you don't know each one of those 500 people individually.
No,
But
yeah, for sure.
the fact that they know you individually leads to
Mhm.
them having this kind of skewed mindset in their mind.
Yeah.
Like this leads into our next question, which I wanted to speak to you about. There's been studies that show that um women that portray themselves as single streaming have a higher chance of getting viewership, donations, and subs. Um, do you think that? I mean, this is no shocker to me. I don't think. I think
Yeah.
that that doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah.
Um, would you think that it is a necessity for you to disclose your relationship status to your stream?
Um, no. I don't think it is a necessity. I mean, I would just because I'm open about that stuff, but I
For
don't
sure.
think it's like I need to tell them this because
For
that's a
sure.
boundary I can set for myself.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's their business.
Of course. Yeah.
But it also depends on your relationship with your chat.
Yeah. Do you like my
Um,
bow tie? I made a bow tie. Sorry.
it's beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you for
tried.
that.
But yes. So moving like to touch on that.
hmm
Um, you are an open person, right? So I
hmm
obviously know that you would definitely share it. Like I feel like you'd stream with your SO, right? You'd stream with your significant other,
hmm
which is
I don't
basic,
have
just
one though.
how it is. It's fair. It's very open, Janelle. Thank you. Cross that question off.
Yeah.
Yeah, just um, I, I think that hit that you would take from the people that like oh she's not available,
hmm
yo I'm not gonna watch her anymore. I feel like that's such like an incel like take for me. I don't know
Yeah.
why. Like am I
I,
wrong though?
no, I think it's just like if you were only here because I was single, then you weren't here for me.
How
You know,
ridiculous is
like
that? That's crazy.
like I wasn't gonna fall in love with you. I mean, I might, but
Yeah, I
I wasn't
might.
gonna
Yo,
fall in
that
love with a
$5
person I don't
dono,
know.
that $5
You
dono got
know,
me crazy.
like you weren't here because you were thoroughly entertained by me, or I didn't bring a smile to your face. You
Well,
were
maybe
here
they were.
specifically because
Maybe they
I
were
was
thoroughly
single.
entertained by you, right? Like maybe they
Yeah,
were like you made them smile, and maybe that grows
yeah,
their connection, and then maybe they fall in love with you, right?
yeah. And
Like
then
I
it's
feel
like,
like
oh,
that
she's
could
taken
genuinely
back.
happen. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
oh, this woman belongs to me. Now she's in a relationship.
Yeah.
bye. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, I feel like some people would have that mindset, which
Yeah,
is
for
tough.
sure.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that would be the same boat for a guy, right?
Definitely not. I don't think
Definitely
so.
not. Because there's such a
Mm-mm.
large disproportion from, female viewers on Twitch to male viewers on Twitch.
Yeah. Hmm.
And there's such a heavy stigma of women streaming.
I think
Um
when guys on Twitch get girlfriends, they get more viewers.
that's so true. That's so true.
Yeah.
That's all, yeah, that's very true.
As if there is a female in the shot,
In the
I feel
shot,
like people just
period.
flock. They just flock to it. I don't know why,
My sister
but
comes like right here.
10 views immediately.
View cap, period. They see the little thumbnail and they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's all
Yeah.
girl."
Hmm.
And then my chat, they're like, "Who's she? Who's she? Who's she?" And then they see that we look exactly the same, and they're like, "She
Siblings are
cute.
dating.
She cute. Siblings are dating." Ooh, that'd be a bad one. That'd be an awful
Uh,
one. If you, oh god.
yeah.
Yeah, we should play that. That sounds like fun, actually. Yeah, have you seen that Cody Co video?
Yes.
Oh, it's so good. It's so
So
good.
good.
Oh man, but yeah. So that's just like, and it's just the sheer like, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. The highest like the viewer range on Twitch,
Hmm.
the highest percentage is 13 to 17-year-olds. Yeah, go figure. They're all gonna go ahead and see a stream with like a woman in it, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just like simple science, I guess. You know what I mean? Like obviously
Hmm.
they should be better than that, but they aren't because they're freaking, 15. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Hmm.
So that obviously sets you at a disadvantage. But
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about another topic about streaming as a woman is women in like, sometimes in Twitch, according to the TOS, there are some gray areas and some like boundaries that you can set on your stream when it comes to how you dress or how you position your camera or how you present yourself on the stream. And people use those those advantages, or people use those to their advantage, right? Quote unquote, in
Hmm.
order to attract more individuals. You see where I'm going with this. Um, how do you feel about a woman using her body as a asset to grow on Twitch?
It's kind of a gray area. I mean, personally, I feel uncomfortable when people over sexualize themselves just to get
Yeah,
views. I think it's something that's it's kind of shallow for me.
yeah,
I mean, go off if it works. Like,
for
I mean,
sure.
I'm not gonna stop you, but it's definitely something I would never do.
Yeah,
It's just like, at least for me, I would be insecure. Like, okay, are they here for my body, or are they here because they genuinely like me and I'm fun? You know, like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that's something.
A lot of the
I
people
don't
see
know.
the money on Twitch, and that's all
Yeah,
they see, right? And
yeah,
so
yeah.
they use whatever they want
Hmm.
or however they can to grow that viewership and like to really just try their best to get on that train, whether it be
Yeah.
like you ever heard of like a hot tub stream? So there's a gray area on Twitch where if you are at least streaming at a pool or at a beach, you can present yourself in a bikini. So guess what streamers do? They bought a kiddie pool and they put it in their bedroom, and that is
Yeah.
free reign. That is free reign
Yeah,
for
it's
them to
just,
do whatever they want.
I mean, hey, you do you. You know, I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, can you believe that they're doing that? Like, that's just not who I am. Like,
Yeah,
if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. I'm not gonna judge you for it, but that's just something that I wouldn't do.
for sure.
Um, yeah.
Do you think that Twitch needs to change anything about that when it comes to the terms of service and like the how they do it?
Um, I would say yes, just because there's a lot of underage people that watch, and
Yeah,
that can spiral into things that aren't exactly healthy patterns, you know?
yeah,
Um, and it's like, oh, I saw this on Twitch, but causing me to want something more, and
Yeah.
they're gonna
Yeah.
seek it in other ways, you know.
Yeah.
So personally, at least for me, morally, you know, with my religious background and all that stuff,
Of
like
course.
I don't think it's a great idea for that
Hmm.
to be allowed, or, you know,
Hmm.
having 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds being exposed to this,
Hmm.
um, and then just being like, ah, it's okay, they got a kiddie pool in the room. Like,
That's what I'm saying, right?
okay,
Like they're in the Twitch
great,
manager's
cool,
office and they're like,
cool.
"But did you see the kiddie
The
pool?" Like,
pool in the background. Like,
yeah,
no.
no, no. And
Yeah.
yeah, like I have that exact same mindset. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
just to pivot it as a big brother to a little sister, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we are closer in age, but like,
Mhm.
imagine if she was like 15, right? And she looks at the Twitch streams and she, she's into gaming. She likes watching Twitch. She gets recommended, boom, like pool stream. Oh, this is cool. Like, oh, that's what's up. Like, maybe she likes it, right? She then goes on, like, because the age requirement for Twitch to stream is 14 years old, I believe, or 13, something like that. She's in
Mhm.
her complete right mind to stream. She can stream if she wanted to.
Yeah.
And now what's stopping her? What's stopping her from going and
Yeah.
doing her own pool stream as an
Yeah.
underage person? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then you get all these older people that are, it's just like,
It's just
no.
inviting bad publicity for
Mhm.
your company, right? Like I don't know. That's just how I think about it, right? Um, like people that do that stuff when it comes to their bodies and like monetizing their own like body like I feel like there's some individuals they I feel like the human body is like a work of art. Like you could
Yeah.
definitely there's some people that like appreciate their body in a positive light and that they
Mhm.
genuinely do think that their body is like art. And I think that
Yeah.
like that's what's up. That's awesome. Like do you. But then you have people that that let greed and like ego and pride get in the way of that,
Mhm.
allowing them to, and now they have all these outlets that can feed into that, allow them to
Yeah.
monetize off of it and really just feed into it, right? And I feel like that could be super dangerous for especially growing up like individuals, especially women.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, I agree. But
There's not much
can't
you can really.
change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Like I mean, it's not like we could like. So, anyways,
Yeah.
let's delete OnlyFans single handedly. No. Yeah. So I mean, so like, do you think that there are some women that ruin the experience of streaming as a woman for other women, if that makes sense? Like they kind of taint the name of like streaming as a
Um,
woman.
no, I don't think so. I think it's more of a, like, the stigma of it. Like, if one
Yeah.
person does it, it's like, oh, all women do. But I don't think it's one person in particular. Like, I
Yeah.
don't, it's just people, like, they have like little groups, you know, like these
For
people
sure.
stream this, these people stream this, and it's okay, you know, like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's like, oh, all women streamers are
Yeah.
sexualized, like, because I don't think that's true.
Because I feel like
Uh,
that like you see one. I feel like the like that criticism and that like stereotype stems from the individuals that create the stereotype, right?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the individual doesn't speak for the majority in that
Hmm.
situation, right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
That could
Yeah,
be pretty
I've
tough.
seen so many female Twitch streamers that, you know, they're just like regular streamers, but they're
Yeah.
female. Like,
Yeah.
and it's awesome, and they have tons of followers, and
Yeah.
it's amazing. And they're doing it because it's their personality. I
It
mean,
shines,
some
yeah.
of them I'm sure are there like, oh, they're beautiful. I want to marry them. But like,
But yeah, for
okay,
sure. But that's not why they are streaming. That's not
exactly.
what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like they are there because for the soul of like entertaining individuals in a way where it's actual entertainment
Hmm.
and not lust, right? So
Exactly.
that could definitely, that's definitely like how you can tell. You could read so much of an individual off of just like that's why streaming is so intimate.
Hmm.
Um you really get a sense of like why people do it. I think that when you let somebody stream or when you stream, like you're kind of letting somebody into your home. Like someone's like people that are watching this are currently looking inside my bedroom right now. Like that's
Hmm.
how at least I look at it. Some people like to distance themselves from the stream, give themselves boundaries, create characters. That's where like you have people like VTubers, so like where they create their own avatar. They
Yeah.
don't speak in their normal voice. They wear different things. And that's a wall that like, some streamers like to respect. And then there's other individuals that are like they make streaming their lifestyle. And I think that what do you want to be? Is the question.
What are the options?
Well, obviously, there's having that cutoff, like I'm here to play video games to entertain you, be entertained, cool, bye now. Like, and then there's keep up with me in my life, this is my family, just got married, just had a kid, right? Like, and you let your kid on stream and, you hang out with them and it's like, a more like typically you have a more, wide angle camera and capture more of the space. Whereas streamers that like to keep more personal, keep the camera close, right? So like, people that share their families, people that, are open about their relationships, open about like people in their lives. That's the difference between like, being a personal streamer and a social streamer, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would probably be a little more open just because
Yeah.
that's just who I am, you
Yeah.
know? Obviously, I don't think I would allow like my children on stream or stuff like that just for
For
like
sure.
their privacy.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure they don't know like what's going on.
yeah, exactly. Like I don't like that aspect of like here are my children. Like no.
I hate that. I hate that
Yeah.
so much.
So, and it's like it's okay if other people want to do it, but I just feel like my children are entitled to their privacy just like everyone else. So, but I do think
That
I'd
makes
be
sense.
open like with just my life. You know, if I do get a boyfriend, if I do get married, like
Yeah.
I would love to talk about that, you know.
Yeah, because I feel like
Um,
I feel like once you close that off, you could really cut
yeah.
off your anecdotes and your way to joke because you
Yeah.
can't be like, okay, so it was just me by myself at dinner the other night, and
Yeah.
it's tough, right? So
Yeah. And I don't want to be that person that's just like video games and only video games and then I'm
oh yeah,
done, you know? Like,
yeah,
because one, I just started playing video games and like I may not always
yeah.
want to play a video game. You
That's
know,
what I'm
I could
saying.
just
Yeah,
hop into just chatting and react to some videos or just
yeah,
like talk
exactly.
about my day,
Yeah,
you know? So I think it's open. I mean, at least for me, I would just be a
more
pretty
open about
open
it.
streamer.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty restricted when it comes to, allowing myself to be an open streamer, considering that my bedroom door is consistently opened by my sisters coming in and speaking to me about things. And
Yeah.
my dad always coming in. He literally picks up my guitar and just starts playing it for fun. So, I mean, more
I love that
respect to
for you.
him. Adds content, honestly. Thank you, Dad,
Yeah.
for the clip farming.
Yep.
Honestly. Man. So I mean, we've been talking for like a good hour, right?
Hmm.
It's been a fruitful conversation, and I really enjoyed talking. Do you have any last statements? Anything you want to talk about?
Thanks for letting me on your stream.
Of course. Did you?
I've
How
been on
was it?
you know,
You
I've been
know,
a star on your stream, just my voice though.
a star.
But
Now you put a name or a face to the voice. Is that
yeah,
so? There you
yeah,
go.
exactly.
Of course.
The
Oh,
old
are you gonna stream with the webcam?
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think I'm funny enough to just have
You
my
need
voice.
you need the
Like I
face.
need my exactly like all of my emotions are on my face. Like
I'm the
whatever I
same
am
way.
feeling is on my face. So I feel
You
like you have to have it because if
Arby's.
not, you're just like Arby's. You know,
No
so
way.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna
Yo,
have a warm.
that's gonna be so good. Imagine you're just like playing a horror game. You just go like full face, get Arby's.
And
And then you just
then I'll
stare
like
at the
zoom
camera.
it in.
It's so perfect. It's so
Oh
perfect.
man.
Oh man. Well, all right. That was awesome. Thank you. I
Yeah.
feel like that was a much more concentrated and like fruitful conversation than last week because we went from like talking about like hot dogs to like the opioid crisis in Canada.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
thank you so much
So next
for
time I'll be able to speak on female streaming with experience.
That's true, because and you're gonna be on the auto host list if that makes you feel any better. You
Nice.
have some individuals, maybe,
Thank you.
Key could come into your chat sometime.
Mm.
He's a cool guy. He probably won't fall in love with you, but
Fair enough.
jury's
I
still
respect
out.
it.
We'll see. Yeah. I think he's in love with me. So, dang. Well, Miss
Cool.
Janelle, MissJello.
Nope. Thank
Nope,
you.
there you go. Try to figure it out. I almost had it. Thank you
Yep.
so much for joining us, and we shall see you when we see you.
Yep.
Next week,
Whenever we play Valorant.
whenever we play Valorant. I don't think we have
Yeah.
a guest for next week, unfortunately. So I'll have to figure that one out. But I actually asked Bree if she wanted to do it.
She said she was going to. So
Yeah. I think
yeah.
I have her slated for next week or the last week of May. So, with that being said, thank you guys for watching or listening on, wherever this is available. I still don't know the logistics of it. You're probably watching this on YouTube. Hope you guys enjoyed and have a wonderful night. See you.
Bye.
Bye.